Hey, welcome to my channel. This is the first part of our mini-series about the transatlantic accent. And today we're gonna talk about how it happened. So grab yourself a cup of tea, a bicky, and let's get into it. So many people have this idea that the transatlantic accent is an American accent, and that's just not true. It's a British accent. It's just that Americans adopted it and made it their own. But where did it come from? Well, the story begins in Portugal in the mid-15th century. See, Portugal was a small country with a coastline that wasn't great for fishing, so they started exploring the West African coast to see if they could find some gold and ivory to trade. And wouldn't you know it, they found both in abundance. They also found lots of humans who were really good at finding gold and ivory. So the Portuguese started trading them too. At first it was just prisoners and slaves, but soon they were capturing people and selling them to work on plantations in Brazil. And so the Portuguese started building forts along the coast to hold these human beings until they could be sold. And these forts became known as trading posts. Now, the thing about trading posts is that they're usually in places with lots of other trading posts. And soon other European countries started taking notice of what the Portuguese were doing and they wanted in on the action. So Spain, the Netherlands, France, and Britain all started exploring the West African coast and building their own trading posts. And these posts became the hub of the transatlantic accent because the people working there were mostly Portuguese, Spanish, French, or British. They spoke a kind of English called base English, which sounded something like this. It was a mix of their native language and the local languages of West Africa. And it was full of slang and colloquialisms that would become the building blocks of the transatlantic accent. For example, the word slave itself is thought to have originated from one of these trading posts. The Portuguese took the word escravo, which means disobedient or lazy, and turned it into servo, then servo, and finally slave. And the word savvy, meaning to know or understand, is thought to have come from the same place. The Portuguese took the West African word sabi or sabir and turned it into saber, then savvy. As you can imagine, life in these trading posts was pretty rough. There were constant threats of attack from other Europeans or local tribes. And the people who lived there were often cut off from the rest of the world. So they developed their own culture and way of speaking, a culture and way of speaking that would eventually make its way across the Atlantic and become the transatlantic accent.